Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm back with a very special video. So I'm excited to bring you guys a first look slash early access of the new Beyblade Burst app called Beyblade Burst Rivals. So this app is licensed by Sunrights, and I do have to make a disclaimer that not all assets are final and that they are subject to change for launch. Anyway, with that being said, I've been playing the app quite a bit and I've gotten a pretty good feel for it. So I'm hoping to give you guys a little bit of insight as to how gameplay works, as well as the available modes, and just some overall impressions that I had. So anyway, we're going to get right into this, and I'm going to go ahead and just switch off to a screen recording because unfortunately I can't really show you guys the screen while showing my face. Alright, so we are at the play section, which shows you all of the available modes that you can play. Now, there are currently 3 modes, that being battle mode, quick play, and training, and there is a 4th one that's locked. I'm assuming that's going to be a future mode, but in the meantime, we're going to take a look at training just to get to the basics, I guess, but also just tell you how the game works. So, as you can see right here, there are a few levels that you can choose from. Now, it does, or each level in training does teach you a different skill, so I'd highly recommend going through this section, especially just to learn the basics, and it does also continue even further. So each level is very, very helpful. Once again, make sure you guys go through that. It will definitely clear up a lot of questions or confusion that you might have. But we're going to start off with level 1, which is a battle against Rontaro, who owns Rocktivore R2. Now you guys already are familiar with him, I'm sure. And we're going to battle him right now. So the loading time in between isn't that long, and you can see that it loads pretty quick. There's also some dialogue. So he says, "Hey new kid, I see you have a bay. You think you're ready to take me on?" So it's just an introduction, and then also just, it's like a little bit of a story in between with just teaching you the basics. And we're going to launch our Beyblades right now, and right away you're going to see some more dialogue, and now we see these tiles. So these are tiles, and they all have different pictures. Now, this is why you want to go through training, because as you can see, there's a lot of different types of tiles, and each level will explain how to use them effectively. And you're basically going to match these tiles and get like an extra added bonus or boost to whatever thing you want on your Beyblade. So it's literally a take on the Match 3 puzzle games that you guys are familiar with, but Beyblade this time. So Beyblade themed is pretty awesome. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and just move on to another training level just to show you that they do teach you the basics here. And here's another battle with Rontaro. So they're teaching you the fundamentals and now the stamina counter. And this is a really crucial skill to know because obviously with Beyblade there are many ways to lose a round and or win a round. You can win by a spin finish or also a knockout. So just be wary that all these tiles that you match do either increase your chances of winning, or if you don't match enough of them, you might even increase your chances of losing. But yeah, so you guys can see though, it's relatively straightforward with the matching tile stuff. And like I said, this is just teaching you a little bit more of the basics. And yeah, it's pretty neat, I do have to say. And you can see that I won that round pretty easily. So now we're gonna jump to like a full-on battle. So now we're gonna move on to the battle mode, which is actually a pretty neat mode. You do get to battle your favorite bladers from the anime or TV show, but also in return you win rewards if you do manage to win the battle. So as you can see here, we see Daigo, as well as a few other characters you guys are familiar with, and you guys can battle your favorite characters with your own Beyblade, of course. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and battle Ken. So Ken does have Kirby's K2, and there are no rewards because I already went through this level, but in most cases you will get a reward, and it's going to be one of those blader boxes, which I will explain in a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and battle him on because I do want to show you guys a full-on battle and what that looks like. Now I do have to say that I'm a big fan of the animations, and once again, just some dialogue. and you can choose your Beyblades from the start. As you can see, I have a roster right here, or a team. We got Yugen Yegdrion, Dark Doomsizer, and Zillion Zutron. Now, out of these three, my favorite is Dark Doomsizer, but because Ken does have a defense type, we have to keep that in mind because Beyblade types are advantage, or they do have an advantage over the others. So because Ken is using a defense type, we do want to go with the stamina type because it also shows you that you have an advantage by that arrow right there. So we're gonna go with Zillion Zutron, and let's hope for the best. Now you got to keep in mind that you have about 10 seconds to match your tiles, so you do want to act quick. Some rounds might go by really fast before you know it, and I myself feel like I need to train and practice a little bit more because as you can see, that round went by really fast. So it's a very fast-paced game. You're not going to really be getting bored, I think. You're going to be on your toes trying to come up with those combos because, as I said, the more combos you get, the better off you are and the more likely you are to win and get either a spin finish or a knockout, one of the two, or even just like getting like a special move in. It's really neat. Like I have to say, they really incorporated Beyblade into a puzzle game, which is kind of amazing in itself. And the way they did it is just really cool. So we're matching our tiles right now, and you can see a lot of different symbols. And I would go through all of them, but once again, the training does that for you. And yeah, here we go. So we won right now. We got a survivor finish, and we got 1 point. So the way it works also is the first of 2 points is the winner. So it's, like I said, fast-paced. You can get through a round pretty quick if you know what you're doing, and if you practice enough and get those symbols in or those tiles in, because that's the important part. So let's see if we can get this win right here. And also, rounds may last longer than you think. I know that it said it's fast-paced, but if you guys see that number up there, that's the number of rounds that your Beyblade will last. And you can actually change that by collecting stamina tiles. So it's pretty unique and pretty intricate, if I do have to say. But as you can see, I got this symbol right here, and it's showcasing my special move now. And I hope that's going to secure me a win. And it did. So we won the second round by a survivor finish, and we now got 2 points, meaning that we won the round. So after each victory, you do get XP and also some Bay coins. I believe they're called Bay coins. If not, it's just the currency in the game. There are 2 types of currencies, I believe, and I'm not going to go too into detail with them, but I'm just going to show you guys that you can get XP. However, my Beyblades are already maxed out, so I don't need XP right now. Anyway, we're going to move on. And yeah, that was just your basic battle. Now keep in mind that the difficulty can increase, especially when you're going against a different type of Beyblade that you might not have an advantage with. So it's good to have a good range of Beyblades in your team. So the other mode is Quick Play. Now Quick Play, you're battling other Bladers, of course, and you also do get more XP, but also the other currency that I mentioned earlier. So that's pretty neat, but you can see that the difficulty does pick up towards the end. So you gotta make sure your Beyblades are leveled up, and that's what we're gonna move on to next. Is the team section. Okay, so we are in the team section now, which shows a few things. Number one, the character here, which is our Blader, I guess. We have Vault, and for the time being, I think that's what we have. This is an early access version of the game, so I believe there may be more Bladers to choose from later on. Anyway, we also have these 3 Beyblades on the bottom, and that's our team. And you can see that you can select the Beyblades that you want to use. And you get these through Blader boxes, which are boxes that you can win either through battles and through the shop. So that's that. And just keep in mind that you can also level up your bays. For example, if I were to take this horror suit and equip it, or actually, yeah, I'll equip it and then hit upgrade, you can upgrade it for a certain amount of the currency. But I do already have my Doomsizer maxed out, which is level 40 right now. Anyway, we got these 3 Beyblades in our roster, and yeah, it's just what you're going to be using in the matches that you do. So you can always swap them out at any time. Anyway, moving on to the other section, I have the loot section. Now, this is where you can open boxes, which I believe are called blader boxes. I could be wrong. If not, I'll correct it in the video. Each box either contains a Beyblade or maybe even a blader, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But you do have to keep in mind that these boxes do take time to open. So you do have to be patient when opening these boxes. I do not have any on me right now. That's why you're not seeing anything. But if I did have one, you would see one and a countdown timer. So that's a pretty cool thing to implement. But that's pretty much the gist of it with this game. It's pretty straightforward, but as you can see, there's a lot to it when it comes to the gameplay. And I think that's really cool. I like how it's a whole different spin on the Match 3 puzzle game, and I really like what they did. Now, with that being said, I just want to give some suggestions or feedback with this game and what I think so far. Number one is maybe adding some more customization. Because with Beyblades, they do consist of parts, so maybe adding more customization to the parts of the Beyblades, that would be pretty neat. And also, maybe adding the option of having an own custom character, because that would add some more personalization to the app. And then another suggestion that I have is just adding more recent Beyblades. Now, I know that we're currently in the Switch Strike system, so we're all familiar with the newer Beyblades, that being Genesis, Valtryek, Legend Spryzen, etc., etc. So I'm thinking if they implemented those Beyblades in this app, that would make it a little bit more relevant to what what we're seeing in the cartoon. And just one more suggestion, and that being that while playing this game, and I know it's an early release, so they might fix this later, but basically my phone battery died, or it was losing battery really fast, and my phone was also heating up somewhat. So that was a little bit concerning for me. I'd imagine if someone were to play this game for about an hour, or maybe even less, it might eat up a lot of your batteries. So I'm hoping they're on top of that and maybe like taking care of that issue. But yeah, that's pretty much it for like feedback and stuff. Overall, I'm a big fan of the game. Like I said, I've been playing it for a good amount of time. I've only had it for like a day, but I've been playing it for like hours now. But it's a really fun game, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. And once again, I do want to reiterate that this is an early access release, so I'm not too sure when it will actually come out to the public. But be sure to look out. I will make sure to keep you guys updated, and hopefully you guys will get your hands on this app. It's really fun, like I said, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. Anyway, until next time, guys, see ya.